In fact, I did an interesting poll recently. So I said, out of these 4 rappers, who made the biggest impact on West Coast rap? The Game, YG, Nipsey Hussle, Drakeo the Ruler. We're at 1,400 votes right now. Who do you think is winning?
Drakeo.
He's actually in second to last place.
Yeah?
56% said The Game.
I was going to say that. I was going to say Game comes right afterwards. So he was very impactful when he was rapping, but didn't nobody want to be like him. You get where I'm coming from? Like, he was impactful, but it wasn't people trying to rap like Game. It wasn't people just mocking Game every move. And it might have been because social media wasn't that effective back then or efficient, whatever, to where somebody could study your every move and be exactly like you. But Drakeo has 100 kids. You're listening to Drakeo when you listen to LA rap right now.
No, that's true. That's true. Like, he had a more, in terms of stylistic, he had a bigger stylistic influence on other rappers. So right now, like January 5th, 3:51 p.m., in LA, The Game is at 56%, Nipsey's at 29%, YG's at 5%, and Draco's at 10%. So it's basically The Game, Nipsey, Drakeo, YG.
So I would say it would go, in my book, Drakeo, Nipsey, Game, YG. Game's accolades outshine all of them.
Well, yeah, he has multiple #1 albums.
Yeah, so
no one else
can
say this on this list.
And Chuck was raw when he first came out.
Right,
He was
and
the first
he's
one.
got, you could say he's got bigger songs.
For sure.
Hate It or Love It.
For sure.
Like that first album, the documentary was ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember. I was here. See, a lot of people voting wasn't hip-hop fan, wasn't right here. I was in high school. Chuck came out. It was a whole different vibe. It was like he was coming, because I'm talking about mixtape Chuck. I ain't even talking about G-Unit Chuck. I'm talking about when Game was first getting that hype. And I told these bone crutches in my Vine Dutchess, leave you on crutches. You know what I'm saying? 100 bar Chuck. You know what I'm saying? And wasn't it called 100 Bars and Running or something like that?
He had a bunch of stuff. Yeah, when he was beefing with G-Unit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he went crazy. And then he held down the whole beef with 50. I don't know. Do you feel like 50's beef killed his career?
I don't think his career was killed. I think he had a great run as a rapper. And like every other rapper, you start to get older. So, you're not at the top of the charts.
But it was like it was Doc 1 and Doc 2 was him trying to get, how should I say it, back in good standings with Dr. Dre. I think he did something that Dre didn't want him to do, was it beef with 50?
Yeah, well, because 50 is Dre's artist.
Yeah.
You think about it.
Yeah.
But look, okay, let's just break it down numbers-wise, because, everyone's got opinions, but numbers are numbers. So the documentary debuted #1 on the Billboard charts, sold 2.5 million copies. Second album, Doctor's Advocate, debuted #1, almost platinum, probably is platinum by now. LAX debuted at #2, and I think it only debuted at #2 because there was like maybe a couple hundred copies between that and the #1 album. That one is, says silver, might be gold by now.
Yeah.
And the Red album debuted at #1. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no, he debuted.
Jesus Peace debuted at 6. Documentary 2 debuted at 2. Documentary 2.5 at 6. 1992 debuted at 4. Like, he's continuously getting big charting albums over and over again.
Yeah, I mean,
and the total number of albums sold, Game outpaces everyone on that list.
Nobody had a good deal like Game either.
This is true. YG had a deal.
YG, but now he's not. Now, when you talk about lyricism between Game and YG, like,
I would say Game.
Yeah, so it's like you not even, YG make a party record every now and then, but it's nothing that's no context behind what he's saying. You can never listen to a YG CD and learn something new. You get what I'm saying?
Well, he's a different type of rapper.
It's no story. Like, he has storytelling, but his storytelling is kind of, it ain't our cliche storytelling where you going in depth about a story and really got punchlines and all that. Like,
Yeah, and also, but you got to give it to YG because I remember he mentioned this on one of his songs that he's like one of the only West Coast rappers at that
make it
time
without Dre.
Without Dre, right?
And that's
He's
cool.
not connected to the Dre family tree in any level, but I think YG was smart enough to hook up with DJ Mustard early on, and then Mustard became one of the big producers
For sure.
especially on the West Coast, and he kind of had that in down to the tagline, "Mustard on the beat." Ho,
Yeah, for sure.
That's YG.
That's YG.
Yeah. So every time you hear,
they built the sound together.
they built a sound.
They built the sound together. He's definitely what I was saying, the lyricism. YG definitely had a good deal, but I still don't think that his budget was anything like
It was like Game.
Yeah, you get
You
what
didn't
I'm
have
saying?
Aftermath Interscope budgets.
Yeah, come on, man. So that's what I was.
Those were blank checks.
Yeah, like you wasn't getting that type of money. Like 200,000 for a video. Yeah, maybe now, or maybe like 5 to 6 years ago. That was like at his top. But Game had it laid out. His marketing was over all 50 states. He had an East Coast style, so he had one New York, and he was with the East Coast G Unit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, he just had a better stance in music when he dropped in order to be, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that he didn't work for it, though, so he was there.
Everyone on that list worked for it.
Yeah.
Everyone on that list deserves to be on that list.
Yeah.
But, like I said, impact, now that's a very general statement. You could say the number of albums sold, and that would be Game. You could say, how many people emulated the style, that would be Drakeo.
Yeah.
You could say, impact worldwide, Nip.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then again, Nip died.
His death played a big part.
Like if Nipsey was still alive, people would be viewing him a little bit differently because he was somewhat of an underground rapper at the time that he died. Like, his album was a great album, but it wasn't a huge #1 album when he was alive.
Exactly.
It was a great album, though. But a lot of people went back and listened to it after he died.
And it was like, okay, yeah, that was cool. People didn't understand how awesome of a human being he was while he was here until he passed away. And I feel like the way that he passed away, a lot of people had a lot of sympathy for the situation.
Right.
Because it was sad. Like, the triple cross, your homie, after you pump all this money into the hood and you're like an outstanding philanthropist, the street philanthropist or whatever it is for the area, and then somebody that a hater from your hood comes and like the whole world wasn't feeling that, and then they was finding out what he was into and community. Yeah, he was just with the community help and all that, and everybody just,
Yeah, the funeral was done at the Staples Center. All the big celebrities came out to support.
It added a whole lot on to the lure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.